So it looks like former Real Housewives of Atlanta star Kandi Burruss Tucker is weighing in on Shamea's downfall and whether or not she will return, and the advice that she would give to Shamea if she does return for season 17.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news in music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So early this morning, I dropped a video giving you an update on Kenya Moore's lawsuit. If you missed it, be sure to check out that video because sometimes you guys say you're not showing up on my algorithm or whatever it may be. But we break down to you what the landlord is accusing her of. Kenya has filed her own countersuit against the landlord for $89,000, saying that they had this tenant improvement agreement. So if you missed that, be sure to check that out. I'll link that somewhere in here or definitely within the description. Don't forget, guys, I will also be unpacking a lot of stories like this one because it seems as if Real Housewives of Atlanta has become bigger news than the actual season. Offline, we will be unpacking all of it in great detail and explicitly in ways that we can't explain. When I come to Atlanta, literally a week from today, I will be at the City Winery in Atlanta. So go get your tickets today if you haven't already. Meet and greets are available as well. And then we're bringing the live show to DC, Washington, DC. First time coming to you guys during the summer. So let's sell out this show the same way that we have in the past. And then I'll be back here in New York City to round out the summer, September 12th at the Green Room 42. Meet and greets are available for that show, but also a live stream is available for anyone here in the United States, but also around the world. More information on the Kempire After Dark, the villain era, coming to a city near you will be available in the description. So let's get into more Real Housewives of Atlanta news. So Kandi Burruss, and I just have to say this as a disclaimer, and this is not, because I know y'all will be like, oh, you're a Kandi stan. No, I'm not. But I do see people dragging Kandi, like, why are you talking about the show? Why are you talking? You guys are probably just seeing clips and you're not watching her Amazon Live that she does, I believe, on a weekly basis. A lot of times she's answering questions that are in the chat during her Amazon Live. And people are always asking her for someone that was on the show for how many years? 14 years? 15 years? She was on the show. So they're always going to ask her questions about the show. It's not her all of a sudden going on her YouTube and making RHOA content. So in all fairness, before people start getting in the comments, why is Kandi always talking about the show? Because people are always asking her about the show. It's not like Kandi didn't leave the show and go on to do some really amazing things so far. But also, she's also had her own lawsuits. We've talked about it all. That's why when I find it so hilarious when people say you're a Kandi stan. I was like, no, we talk about everything, no matter who it is, including people's lawsuits when it becomes news. But anyway, enough of a disclaimer. It's Mercury retrograde, right, Nikki? Anytime I talk about a Mercury retrograde, I'm always going to reference Nicki Minaj. And you know why if you've seen the videos that we did talking about that between her and SZA. But anyway. So Kandi is weighing in. So you remember there was a rumor that Shamea was not going to return for season 17. People speculated that she had taken RHOA out of her bio, only for us to find out she never had it in her bio. I don't necessarily believe that anyway. When people say, oh, she took it out of the bio. Sometimes some of these housewives, Dorit, will do that intentionally to get people talking in order for the fans to press Bravo, like, no, this person can't leave. Dorita, we really didn't care. We honestly don't know why you're returning for another season, but fine. I don't get why Bravo does what it does. I do remember hearing, what was that, on the latest episode of the Humble Brag podcast with Cynthia Bailey and Crystal Kung Minkoff. You're welcome for the plug. And Cynthia said she confirmed what I've been telling you guys. Bravo, when they decide on casting, it's not just what the fans say. It's not just what Bravo executives want. There's a whole situation that happens. They've even done focus groups trying to figure out, is this person gravitating towards the audience? They do this with a lot of jobs, a lot of entertainment jobs, focus groups to see, is this person connecting with audiences, even in a negative way. So when we have our villains, if it brings attention to a show where people love to hate watch someone or they love the dynamic that they bring within a group, all of that is considered. Social media, us talking about Shamea actually helps Shamea come back next season. And a lot of you have said, I think a lot of housewives, their first season usually is a big womp womp womp. Okay. I feel in this particular situation, it's a little bit different because a lot of people want to use when Drew came on, people didn't like Drew. There's so many examples of a Housewives first season where maybe they weren't the best. I get that. But with Shamea, it's a little different, and I'll explain in a little bit. And I've explained this before during our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap yesterday as well. I've talked about why I feel like Shamea should just pack it up. And I don't mean that in a negative way. And I've said this before, just because you're not good on reality television doesn't mean that you're not a good person, that you're not a great... Not having the personality for reality television might actually be a compliment for the most part, okay? You're normal. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you've been to BravoCon or if you interacted with some of these housewives, you're like, oh, I see why they casted you, okay? But Kandi was asked about this, and Kandi says from what she knows, she had literally just saw Shamea, I think the day before, yesterday, saw her, and she was getting ready for her family trip this summer. And she went to check on Shamea because I'm sure Shamea, yes, we have a job to do and talk about what people do on reality television. And we haven't had the most favorable things to say about Shamea. However, I can understand how hard it is to put yourself out there and to take the amount of L's that she took during the reunion. Part of me feels sorry for her. But part of me is sort of like, well, you also created this. Between the alliances, between the continuing to drag people instead of just letting things go. And then she did that video on her YouTube channel. And I was just like, why are we singing the first 5 minutes? Okay. And then making excuses still. And then at the end of the video, after the prayer, you're saying sorry?
Okay, well, guys, with that being said, my elders and my family, they never steer me wrong. So I just want to start by saying to all of the ladies on Sweet 16 cast, starting with Portia, Drew, Angela, Britt, Kenya, Cynthia, Kelly, I'm sorry. And if I missed anybody, I'm sorry. Phaedra even coming in at the end. I'm sorry. If I've ever offended you, if I've made you feel less than, inferior, if I insulted you, hurt you, in any way, I'm sorry. And I hope that we can start fresh. And I wish you nothing but the best. And that prayer, I hope it leaves this room and enters into your heart and your household. And that's a wrap on Sweet 16.
I was like, are you really sorry or are you just doing damage control? Well, according to Kandi, based on what she knows so far, Shamea is planning to return for season 17. And it looks like maybe she is being offered. From what I heard from Cynthia, Cynthia has not been offered a contract yet, but they're set to start filming next month. Even Cynthia alluded to that as well, that the rumors that they're going to start filming next month probably will be true, but she hasn't been offered her contract yet. And some of you are saying you're okay with that. I don't feel like Cynthia did terrible as a friend of, but I will also say at the beginning of the season, I said to you, it feels as if Cynthia is like the auntie of the group. It also felt uncomfortable during certain scenes when she was interacting with them, that it was just like, it didn't feel great. Throughout the season, it got better in regards to her integration into the group. And maybe next season with some of the changes with a Pinky Cole or with a K Michelle, it will also feel a little bit different. I don't know. It would only take some time to see. I could imagine them bringing Cynthia back. I know a lot of you don't feel like she brought a lot. There are definitely a lot of people that felt like, no, Cynthia did bring a lot. in regards to being sort of the actual glue versus you guys saying that Shamea was the glue. She was the glue. I could see Bravo bringing her back because Cynthia is someone they can work with. I don't know if Marlo is someone that they feel like they can work with or they can control or they, you know what I mean? Anyway, Kandi says that based on what her conversations with Shamea, Shamea is intending to return for season 17. I'm not shocked by that. Is anyone shocked by that? Because we've said this before, because even Kandi says in this video that Shamea has a beautiful life. She doesn't need to return. Shamea wants to return. If anything that we've learned from this season with Shamea, yes, Shamea has this big, beautiful life, and she has the money, she has the family, she has all of these beautiful things. But Shamea always wanted fame. And I mean fame. There's one thing if you want success in one particular career. No, I think Shamea wants fame. And remember, on the after show, Angela Oakley was the one. And at first I was like, Angela, really? You think this? She says that she believes that Shamea played the long game when it comes to her friendship with Portia.
Oh, Portia Bone here. I think Shamea is playing the long game. I'm sorry.
What does that mean?
Well,
I think that Shamea wanted to be on this platform, and her friend was on this platform. And so Shamea was willing to put up with what Portia was offering or issuing out on the friend side to get what she wanted. I don't take Shamea to be one you can walk over.
No.
I don't take her to be one who can be manipulated. I take her to be very calculated. Her friend got on this platform, and Portia invited her on this platform with her. And then she coveted it.
Keep in connection with this friend because she's connected to the network. And then eventually I will have my moment and be featured on the show. And I'll say this again. You saw that Gerald, her husband, did not film. I'm okay with him not filming. I understand it's not his thing, her words. However, I believe he could have been in the same capacity years ago, but the production and the network and the people that handle casting just felt like Shamea wasn't it for the show. And now we see why. Because Shamea has been married to this man and living this lifestyle for a very long time. Kandi has said, even before this season aired, that she had been recommending Shamea for a long time. So the excuse that the reason why she didn't film was because of Gerald, I don't 100% believe that. I do believe it played a part. I don't 100% believe that. I believe production, the network, they didn't see it for Shamea. But when everything started to fall apart with Portia and her storyline for the season, they became desperate and they made her a full-time peach holder. That's what I believe. But that's just my opinion. I'm not saying that it's fact. Please feel free to share your opinion in the comment section, but don't tussle with people in the comment section. We do not moderate adults, okay? All right, so let's take a look at what Kandi had to say during her Amazon Live when asked about Shamea and the advice that she would give Shamea during the next season.
And I told Shamea a few things. One, I told her she really don't need that show. If she don't want to go back, she does not have to go back. And, you know, it'll be just fine. You know what I mean? She can live her best life. She has a wonderful marriage and a wonderful family. You know what I mean? But I said if she chooses to go back, then definitely don't hold back on her feelings. I don't really.
And that was the thing that everyone was saying at the reunion. That was the advice that Cynthia Bailey gave her during this reunion. Don't hold back on your feelings when it comes to the issues that arise. And apparently that's something that she has always been doing. And she said, I'm going through a lot. There are reasons why I do that. Do I believe in season 17 that someone that's 40-something years old, that's been doing this for years, it's just something that's a part of who they are, is going to change? Well, maybe that'll be her storyline. Now, in this era, in season 17, I'm going to be the most outspoken that I've ever been.
I think that she lied. I feel like, okay, first of all, this is not me picking sides between the two, okay? I feel like there were issues in the friendship prior, and I feel like Shamea should have said something before instead of just acting like everything was okay. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes when things aren't okay, It's okay for you to have an attitude about it. It's okay for you to just like, yeah, I'm not feeling this. You know what I mean? And just stand on it. I feel like just trying to be passive about things, it allowed it to come back later like, oh, you weren't tripping all this time, but now you want to trip. No, really, it's been bothering her the whole time, and she should have just said that. You know what I mean? So, yeah,
I will also say this. Just because there's something that you feel towards someone else, like there's some sort of issue, maybe whatever issue she had with Portia not attending her wedding in Africa, sometimes the healing that you need to do for yourself doesn't necessarily have to involve the other person. It's you having to put it to rest and be like, you know what, I let that go. I'm done with it. Or maybe be done with the friendship. But like I said, it's important to remember what Angela Oakley said during the after show. Did she want to play the long game because she had other intentions? That is what I got from the reunion, is that Shamea is not who we thought she was in regards to her having good intentions. And I said that yesterday during our Real Housewives of Atlanta recap when they were setting up for the prayer. I said, I feel like the reason why this season turned out the way that it did was because her intentions were not pure.
I feel like the show itself is going to make it hard for the two of them to fix any friendship because, you know, that's the thing. When you're on TV and you real friends with somebody and y'all have a back and forth, typically in real life, you can have your back and forth and then I don't talk to you, you don't talk to me, and then eventually we might get over it and start back talking. But it's not allowed to happen when you're on television together. When we fall out, then they're going to make us keep bringing it back up. Everybody get to have an opinion about it. It's got to go viral. It's about to be a mess. So that's why I say it can, in my mind, probably get worse going into the next season. So either she just needs to address how she feels and be fully transparent.
Here's the thing, too, and this is what Cynthia Bailey said on the most recent episode, because she talked about the friendship dynamics. And she also reiterated what Kandi is saying here, is that being on reality television doesn't necessarily help you get over the friendship stuff if there are issues. But if you truly, your intention is to heal the friendship, and some might say maybe she doesn't want to heal the friendship with Portia. I can understand maybe not wanting to continue in this toxic relationship with Portia, because I'm not saying that Portia is innocent. What I'm saying is if you really wanted to heal the friendship, if that was more important to you than being on this show, you wouldn't return to this show. And some might say, well, this is Portia's thing. Why is she trying to invade in on Portia's thing? I feel like there's room for both of them on the show. I said before, during the season, when recapping the season, I wouldn't have minded them never talking about what happened years ago when it comes to the wedding. I wouldn't have minded just seeing them have a good time during the season. But even when they were having a good time, because I was live on TikTok and I was talking about how Shamea can't just help but be cringy. There are so many examples, and they wanted me to list all the examples. I was like, well, it's hard to list them because I would have to show you what she's done, because it invokes the ick in me sometimes.
Oh, goddamn, boys, I sent me the goddamn flowers up in this mud. Look at these things. Okay, I like it. I love it. Oh, and you do it. And you do it. Ooh, and they smell so good. They smell so. Do it. You gotta, and when you get up, Pete, you get some flowers from your best friend. You get up, Pete, you get the flowers, and you then go in. Ooh!
And even when Portia and Shamea were having a good time, although some of those moments were fun, it would turn into cringe really quickly. Like when they were in Grenada and they were in the Sprinter and they were like joking and then they made up a song and it's just like, oh, but the booty. And I was like, oh, here we go with the cringe again. If you watched her latest YouTube video, there were multiple moments from the very top. Oh, cringe. Some people are not made for reality television. That's not a bad thing. That's not a read. That's not shade. Okay, if anything, it might be a compliment. And I feel as if Shamea is not made for reality television. And I know a lot of people are like, well, give her another chance, give her another season. And I'm like, you know what? I'm all about giving people grace for the next season. All right. We did that before for so many other reality TV stars where it's like, didn't love them this season. Maybe I'll love them the next season and come in the next season with an open heart. But based on what I've seen with Shamea, and we have to also keep in mind, this is not our first time being around Shamea. This is our first time being around Shamea full time. But what I've noticed is that cringe, that ick that I get from some of the things that she does on reality television that I don't think will change. But I could be wrong. I want to put that disclaimer. I could be wrong. And next season, it could be, we love Shamea. But I will say, when all of you were saying she's the glue, where has Shamea been this entire time? I said, hold on, people. Wait a minute. Let's see how the rest of the season plays out. Only for us in episode 20 to be like, I don't want to see Shamea again. And you understand why Portia, and a lot of people said Portia had a terrible first season. I don't think she had a terrible first season. Why she reigned supreme, why she did so well on reality television. She just has the good personality for it. Did she have a great season? No, she didn't have a great season, but she's shown us over the years that she can have a great season. I just don't think that Portia can be a leader when in this dynamic, this group dynamic. She's not a good leader. But she's still, I will have to say, she's made me laugh a lot more times than Shamea did. I didn't get ick from Portia during the season, only if there were scenes with her and Simon Gobadia. Luckily, we didn't get any of those. But if you watch Portia's Family of Lies, then we got the ick quite a few times. But okay. So what do you guys think? Do you agree with what the advice that Kandi has given Shamea? She also said before the season started in her advice to Shamea that 1 minute they're going to love you, the next minute they're going to hate you. That happened really quickly for Shamea, but Kandi's right. Kandi did it for like 15 years. She understands how people love you 1 minute and they hate you the next. You really can't pay attention to social media. If this is something that you really want to do because you want to launch your music career or whatever it may be, fine, girl. But I do not want to see Drew pursuing music next season, Shamea pursuing music next season, and clearly, K. Michelle will be pursuing music next season because that's what she does. Okay? And she's been working on this country album for years now, and she just secured a new country album deal. So I already know her part of her storyline. She's also married. For those that didn't know, she just got married. She revealed that on socials maybe like a week ago or a couple weeks ago. I'm sure she will be talking about that aspect of her life, but K. Michelle's very business minded. We're going to be focused on her businesses, her interaction with the other women, and her music. More importantly, she's going to use this platform for her music. I don't want 3 people pursuing music next season.
Hell no.
I really don't even want 2. I do like Drew's album, but I don't want 3 people pursuing music next season. Production. I know you watch. What do you guys think? What do you want to see for next season? Are you excited for season 17? Are you excited for the Kempire After Dark live experience coming to Atlanta? I'm recrafting my show because when I was in Philly, I talked a lot of different hot topics. However, I really want to delve into breaking down everything when it comes to Real Housewives of Atlanta, the past, the present, and the future. Baddie Twins here on YouTube will be opening up for me, so stay tuned for that. And then, of course, we're coming to DC August 22nd, then New York City September 12th. And I know all of you are like, can you come to my city? I don't know, y'all. I wish I could, but I'm only one person, okay? And it's hot here in New York right now. And I can't think about anything besides trying to stay cool and stay hydrated, all right? And I would suggest the same for Shamea. Guys, let's continue this conversation in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. Thanks for watching.
Here we go now.